ladies event from June.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Fumble Live. I hope you all had a great long weekend. We have a lot of sports news to get into today, so get ready. But first, make sure you subscribe to the Fumble, tap the bell for notifications, give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us out. Leave a comment below and share it with your friends. All right, you guys, I'm Devin Howard. You can find me on Instagram as @DevinHoward. Chris?
It's your boy Chris. You can find me everywhere as CK2K.
I'm Jackie Ray. You can follow me on all things social media at JRayTheFanatic.
What's up, guys? It's girl Britt Johnson. You can follow me on all social media at IamBrittJohnson.
All right, you guys, so we just came out of a 3-day weekend, and Jackie and Britt, I know you guys had some fun plans that you were getting into. Chris, it didn't sound like you had a lot going on, so I'm going to start with the ladies first. Britt, how was your weekend in Arizona?
It was fun. I really didn't expect the whole entire city of Los Angeles to go to Arizona, but I guess because Arizona was open, everybody went there. I did not attend any of the pool parties or lake stuff that all you crazy people were at. I was in a house the entire time. The only time we left was the first day to go get groceries. We got a couple $100s worth of groceries and just cooked it out all weekend, stayed in the house by the pool. It was nice and hot. I loved it. I love like Arizona at nighttime because it's so warm at nighttime, and so you can still swim and stuff. Compared to LA, it's freezing at nighttime even in the summer. So I had fun in Arizona. I did not do what everybody else came to Arizona to do, though, just to be clear.
Good. I'm glad you cleared the air about that because I saw so many people just jam-packed in all those pools and all those day clubs.
Yeah, it was
and
crazy.
I did wonder if you were going, but I had a feeling you probably weren't. Jackie, how was your weekend? I know you saw your best friend for the first time in a while, right?
Actually, no. Her boo came into town, so I got kicked to the curb, which is fine.
No.
I ended up spending the weekend at another friend of mine's house that he actually lives by the stadium. So it was pretty dope because I kind of got to sneak in, walk around. It was pretty dope. I had a good weekend though, for sure. But yeah, I got stood up by my best friend. Stadium? Yeah, it's dope.
Oh, cool.
Security guy saw us too, but we were like, I just want to take a peek, and he was just like, I'm just gonna look over here. It's so cool. So it was, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you got to do something fun. I was in Palm Desert for part of the weekend, and then I was packing the rest of the weekend. But I also had a good time.
Oh yes,
Oh, that's right. Moving.
I want to see my apartment right now. It is a disaster. Did you end up doing anything fun, or was it just another chill weekend in quarantine with the park?
Chilled weekend. I'm not complaining at all. I did get to shoot a basketball for the first time since this whole thing started. So since March, and it went in. Everything cracked, but it went in. So I was happy about it. Yo, I just was so excited to see a hoop. So we shot, and it was great. Just one went in.
But wait, Chris, wait.
Oh my God!
I specifically recall you supposed to do something this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
See what happened?
Where is it at, Chris?
Every single camera in my house, they just went out. I can't explain it.
I see your lighting is a little off today, so
right.
You didn't have good lighting. Is that what
Yeah, you see, it's crazy. See, I'm doing this app thing. I don't know what happened. It's crazy.
What had happened, Chris? Really?
Chris, listen, you owe it to us. So by what's the date? The deadline is Thursday, I think. You should have
I don't
that
know
up.
what's happening. You guys are all cutting out.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I agree.
I can't hear anything right now. I don't know.
Don't worry. We'll text you all the details of what you need. So in case you can't hear us right now, you can read the directions.
I want to answer. I kept getting DMs all weekend about my test results because I told you guys last week I took the coronavirus test.
Oh yeah.
I got the results this morning. I'm negative, so no comment over here, guys.
Well, on that note, that is the perfect segue into the first story. We've got some positive news from Britt, and now let's talk about Britt's favorite player, Dame. Okay, so Dame Lillard said that if the Trailblazers aren't playoff contenders once the season resumes, he will not be suiting up for games. He told Chris Haynes, if we come back and they're just like, we're adding a few games to finish the regular season, and they're throwing us out there for meaningless games, and we don't have a true opportunity to get into the playoffs, I'm going to be with my team because I'm a part of the team, but I'm not going to be participating. I'm telling you that right now, and you can put that ish in there. So the Blazers were 3.5 games behind the Memphis Grizzlies for the final postseason spot in the Western Conference when the season was stopped in March. And Dame said that he doesn't think it's fair that the Blazers could fall short when, if the season had continued normally, they would have had 16 games left to play and to nab that last spot. So he continued on saying, quote, it would suck not to get in the playoffs because our thing was we had fought ourselves back into position to get a spot. We had our starting center and starting power forward coming back, so we had a lot to look forward to, and for a great reason. Now they're healthy and have extra time to train and rehab while everybody else is rusty. So now they won't be coming back as the only rusty players. And if everybody's rusty, we can come in here and beat everybody. So Britt, my question for you is, do you think Dame would be making the right move by sitting out? Do you support his decision to not suit up and play?
I have two thoughts on this. So first off, it depends on how many games they're given back. So if you get at least 5 games back, then you need to go out there and play basketball because you're paid a lot of money basketball. So with the other part of it, I get what he's saying, because really for the NBA, there's no point in bringing a season back with regular season games before going into playoffs if you're not going to give any of these guys an opportunity to make it to the playoffs. The Blazers are the closest team to a playoff spot, like they're 3.5 games in Memphis. And that's only for the 8th seed. The 8th seed and the next seed up, the seed are like 8 or 9 games apart. So really people are just fighting for the 8th seed, and technically all the way up to the 11th seed in the Western Conference. All of those teams would have a chance if they even got an opportunity at 5 games back. Eastern Conference, it doesn't matter. The closest team is 6 games back, so for them, it kind of doesn't even matter. So if the NBA is going to bring back regular season games before going into playoffs, you have any of those players or any of those teams an opportunity to have a chance to play, because let's think of this. They are all kind of out of shape right now. So you're going to tell me you're going to send guys that have a situation where they have to go almost a month of training, conditioning again, working out again, doing some like shoot arounds with your teammates and doing all of that stuff just to play 4 or 5 games, knowing that they're not going to get into the playoffs anyway. Like, guys don't want to do that. They don't want to get in playoff mode and get in season shape if they're only going to be playing a couple games and then knowing they're not going to play in the playoffs. That doesn't make sense. So if you're going to give guys a real opportunity and, you know, have it at least be 5 games, because that's what any of these guys would need to even make it to the playoffs. If you're going to have it at least 5 or 6 games, then I see it as something that they can do. But if it's not, then don't waste those players' times, like doing a whole month of conditioning and training to get back in shape, to know they're not going to play in the playoffs anyway. And then you risk injury and all these kind of other things. Dame doesn't have to worry about his contract because he signed a contract extension to 2025. But like, there are a lot of other players that like they could get injured and they're coming off of a season where they're going to be an unrestricted free agent and stuff, and they don't want to get injured going out there to play 3 games just to not make the playoffs. Like, that's silly.
Mm-hmm. Well, so Jackie, I want to know your stance on this. Do you think that Dame kind of owes it to his fans and to the teammates to play, even if they don't stand a shot at making it into the playoffs, or are you with Britt here?
Yeah, I'm with Britt. You know me, I don't think they owe anybody anything. I think that you have to put what's best for you first. That's always my stance on that. But, you know, and I totally agree with Britt. One of the things that I said off top was I was disappointed on the possibility of just starting the playoffs because the Western Conference, you know, was such a tight race and you're fighting for that 8th spot. So again, it depends on, to be fair though, it probably depends on their workout. Like if he goes back in and he sees that they've been eating cookies and cream this whole time and, people done forgot how to run and stuff, that I probably still would stand that ground. I probably still would be like, you can barely breathe playing half court. I am not about to go out here and fight this fight with you. No full court battle, so probably there's a lot of variables that go into that, but I get it because I would want to fight if I was Dame because I'm so close in it. But like Britt said, it just depends on the number of games that you're going to be playing. You know what I mean? And if you're just, right. I'm 3 games out, and if you decide last minute, oh, you couldn't get this organized quick enough, and so now we're not even playing 5 games, we're just going to play 3. I don't know if I would play then. It's just not worth it to risk injury, like Britt said, or just being flat out embarrassed. It wouldn't be worth it to me. So I think whatever he decides, I love Dame anyway, so I'm going to rock with it.
All right. Well, let's wrap up that conversation and move into the second need to know news story. This one's all about golf and Tom Brady. We don't talk about golf often here on the Fumble, but there was the match over the weekend, Champions for Charity event, which featured Tom Brady, Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, and Peyton Manning. And Tom Brady, during the whole thing, was surprisingly human. Golf is definitely not his thing. He's quite bad at it, and he also suffered a pretty horrendous wardrobe malfunction. We have the clip to play for you right now. So Leo, if you can throw that up there, I need the Fumble fams to see everything that happened, that whole malfunction. There we go. He's walking, bending over, and
oh, nice.
Getting into that Tampa Bay spirit.
Yeah, exactly. It was pretty mortifying.
He doesn't even have a big booty. He's got a little booty. How did that even happen? I don't understand.
You have to take it up with Under Armour because that's who made the pants, and I feel like this is going to be another on Nike whole thing when Ryan bust through the Nike shoe as well. Tom Brady bust through those Under Armour pants. So anyway, I'm just glad that he was wearing underwear with that he had boxers on and didn't just
that angle.
Tweeted pants wanted in on social distancing, I guess. So I'm glad he was able to have some fun with it. He was kind of on like a Twitter trolling spree over the weekend. There's a clip from the event where Charles Barkley was kind of starting to doubt Tom Brady's abilities on the green. Yeah. I think a lot of us were because he wasn't doing that well. But then he actually had a pretty good shot. But I want you to watch the commentary here and watch this clip because Tom then had a great afterwards, or a somewhat great clapback. Can you roll that clip, Leo?
Chat. Come on, man. I'm going to give you some shots, man. I want some of you.
It'll turn on. Don't worry. It ain't over yet.
Go in!
A hole in one?
It was a good shot. But so obviously Charles was kind of criticizing Tom. And so Tom Brady responded back, oh, shoot, I don't have the tweet up here, but it was something like, oh, yeah, I thought this was for charity, Chuck. So he was poking fun at Charles not having any championship wins under his belt. So we've got the clapback going on. But you guys, I feel like I'm starting to turn into Chris because I'm feeling a bit soft now about Tom Brady. I actually enjoyed seeing him.
Whoa, one day. Chill out. I don't want to hear it.
One good joke and y'all on Tom Brady's team now.
Right?
Chris, come on, I need you to back me up. Did he win the weekend with this troll?
He definitely did not. And we're going to talk about it in post-up because he had clapbacks, but they were soft in my opinion. I'll give him one. The clapback with the shot, I'll give him that. I'll take that credit. The little champions thing, yeah. Let's fight it and let's go after Chuck not winning championships. It's been there. We've heard that Shaq does it every Thursday.
Right.
Well, interestingly enough, this was one of, I forget what the numbers were, but it was one of like the most viewed golf events in history or something like that. So it just shows that we are so desperate for sports. Jackie, I want to know, did you catch any of the match at all? And if you did, so you didn't catch any of the match. Is there anybody that you'd like to see doing
The only golf I'm gonna watch is Happy Gilmore. Unless Tiger is playing. I am not a golf fan. I know. I saw that on the Bleacher Report, and then me and my friend looked at each other like, "Do we want to stop what we're doing and watch this?" Nah, we didn't.
I find golf to be so boring to watch. My ex-boyfriend used to drag me out golfing with him, and I would just sit in the golf cart for 5 hours. Like, I never want to do that again. It was not fun.
Golf is fun.
I like driving
though.
Yeah, I love driving the golf cart. I used to drive the golf cart around with my dad, and he used to be like, "This is not a speedway." I used to love driving that golf cart. It was fun.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I've gone to a couple of like the Michael Jordan charity golf tournaments, which are so much fun. And then I actually went to the Masters in Augusta, Georgia, like, I don't know, 10 years ago. So fun because everybody just goes from clubhouse to clubhouse, gets really drunk. And it's like kind of fun when you're there, but it's boring to watch. But I feel like the PGA is kicking themselves in the face right now because they could have easily, we talked about this like a month and a half ago when they canceled it. I'm like, that's the easiest thing you guys could have kept on. And with this getting so many views, and I think it was 5.6 or 5.8 million people watched this, with it getting so many views, I feel like, hello, you guys, people would have watched the Masters this year. You guys could have made so much money off of that. And that was the easiest thing to keep going is golf. Like, this was showing you how easy it was to get done. So I bet you they're kicking themselves in the face right now because they just lost out on so much money when they canceled the PGA tournaments.
Not a smart move. Okay, you guys, I'm moving on into our third Need to Know news story. This one is about a person who is a little bit controversial here on the Fumble, Ayesha Curry. So she took to her Instagram to show off a dramatic new look. She's lost a bunch of weight and decided to post a picture of herself in a bikini to celebrate her transformation. I do have to say, she looks great. We have the pictures for you that Leo's going to toss up there for you all. But yeah, she's looking really, really good in her bikini. But people, I want the picture to come up before I move on. There she is. She looks good. But people were shocked that she posted these photos because of those tweets that she put up back in 2015. So she had bashed other women for wearing skin-bearing outfits, saying, quote, and this is what her tweet says, "Everyone's into barely wearing clothes these days, huh? Not my style. I like to keep the good stuff covered up for the one who matters." And then this other one that says, "Just looking at the latest fashion trends, I'll take classy over trendy any day of the week." So people quickly called her out, saying things like, "Ayesha Curry patronized other women for showing skin to men that aren't their partner, then cried about not getting attention from men who aren't her husband, and then went on a mad weight loss journey so she could post the same pics she acted like she was above." Others defended Ayesha, saying, quote, "The obsession with Ayesha Curry and what she said years ago is so weird. Like, who cares? She was just probably having a bad day, and people built a whole political theory around it. I'm telling you, man, people on here are not right in the head." So Ayesha does tend to say things that kind of get her in trouble. She's said weird things about other women in the past and about men and the attention that she wants to get. So I just want to turn to the Fumble squad, specifically to Jackie and Britt, because I know you guys have some thoughts about her. So Jackie, are people being unfair to Ayesha about this bikini picture by bringing up her old tweets?
Man, no. This is how it goes. And it's beyond hypocritical. Like, I wouldn't have done it. I would have, even if I did put that much work into my body, if I have called out other people for doing something, I'm not going to turn around and do that thing. I understand what's about to happen because Britt and I already got drugged. Y'all DM'd me and said all kinds of crazy stuff when I posted that. We just giggled at this damn woman. So I don't even know what's about to come for us now. But it is inappropriate. I'm not mad at you. Look, if you are one of those holy rollers that say, "Hey, I want to save this for my husband. I want to be, I'm rocking with you." If you want to let your flesh flag fly, I'm a rock with you. I have a problem when you start telling women how they should behave. You know what I mean? Especially as a woman, and men have been telling us what we should do or not do forever. I can't co-sign on that. And I love Ayesha. So please don't, come for me again. But yeah, she deserves every piece of this dragging she's getting. I'm so sorry, Ayesha.
Yeah, it's funny when you go on a public forum and bash other women. But you guys, if you're watching this, do not go into Jackie and Britt's DMs or any of our DMs saying anything. It's so funny. Get a life, please. Okay, so Britt, my question for you is Ayesha being a hypocrite for posting this picture, or do you think it's possible that she's just kind of grown and had a change of heart and realized that she shouldn't have said those negative things about other women's clothing?
I think if she has grown, I think she needs to use her platform and apologize for things that she said in the past, because what she did was very, very damaging. I cannot stand with when other women, like, we already have to deal with men calling girls hoes or doing whatever kind of stuff. And for other women to do that to women is like crazy. Like Jackie said, you can, to me, if you want to walk down the street naked, do that. If you want to walk down the street with only your eyes showing, do that. Do whatever makes you feel comfortable, but then turn around and diss another woman for doing what she feels comfortable. And the problem was with what Aisha said, as we can see as time's gone on, she's out of a place of insecurity of herself and her like own body and own thoughts or whatever that have been going through her head. And now that she feels a little more secure, now she's a body, which is what everybody else was doing before. All the women that you were dissing them because they felt secure enough in their body to show what they want to show or not show what they want to show, you know? And I think that's the problem. Like, you took that out of a place of your self-hatred and you put that on other women. And I think it's okay if you are doing it now, that's great. I'm glad you feel secure enough and you're happy with your body and all that kind of stuff to do that. But maybe if you don't want to be considered a hypocrite or whatever the case is, apologize for what you said before, because that was a very damaging thing to say. And you have such a big platform and you need to take responsibility for that.
Yes.
Even if she didn't apologize, even if she just posted the picture and said, y'all remember when I said I didn't like when girls posted this? I lied. Check me out. Like, she could have made a whole joke of it. But you have to acknowledge that you said something that is different than what you're doing. Yeah.
I agree. So, Chris, where do you stand on this? Do you think that Aisha deserves the dragging that she's getting?
Yeah, I completely co-sign with Jackie and Brett. And the last thing Jackie said was what I was going to say. It's just whatever the situation became, like with posting the pictures, whatever you want to do, the fact that you're not acknowledging and you're acting like what you said wasn't what you said, I think is what is getting her ridicule more than the pictures themselves. So, I feel like she got what she had coming. That's how I feel with this from the outside looking in.
Okay, all right, you guys. Well, there was a lot of trolling going on in Need to Know News, and I feel like we have more coming up for Chris's segment, the post up. So can you take us into what's happening with social?
Yes, of course, guys. Welcome to Post Up with your boy Chris, Quarantine Edition. Yes, this is where we dig into all of the social media posts by some of y'all favorite athletes. And we're starting off with my ex-favorite athlete for a whole 24 hours, Tom Brady. Now, I'm so glad Devin showed the clip of him, going back and forth with Chuck and then making that shot, because I feel like that was the only clap back that I will give a check mark to from Tom Brady this weekend, because everybody is losing their mind over him clapping back at Eli Manning. I don't even think it's a clap. I don't even think it's a troll. I think it's a polite troll. That's what I call it. It was a very polite troll, because Eli Manning, for those who do not know, he finally is on social media, specifically Twitter. He posted his tweet talking about he's here, he's excited, blah, 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 blah. Quoted Hoosiers, and it was funny, haha. But then Tom Brady came in trying to steal the show by tweeting, "Welcome, Eli Manning, in typical fashion. You never showed up until the fourth quarter anyway," with a tongue out emoji. That is the softest troll I have ever seen. And people are loving it. People are talking about, Tom Brady got him. No, how did he get him? He just spit up facts. Eli Manning is clutching the fourth quarter the 2 times he played Tom Brady. How is that a troll? I don't see how this is a troll. If anything, he's boom facing himself. Like, I don't understand the point of why everyone's so excited about this. Go ahead.
Mind you, Tom Brady just joined in the third quarter himself. He just got on social media last year. So you haven't been on here and like Eli's so late.
Yeah, I just found it so funny that people were just going so crazy about this. People were so excited about this, because I felt like that John Travolta meme where, like, I walk in the room, I'm just looking around like, what the hell is everybody so excited about? I don't know what's going on. I thought it was a good little buddy. I didn't see it as a troll. I didn't see it as a clapback. But hey, Tom Brady, I really love the Falcons thing, but let me tell you, I'm not with you on this one. But that clapback or that shot that he made against Chuck, when Chuck was talking all that smack, I felt like that was the ultimate of the entire week, because you can't. That was action, and he was sticking up the joint. Because I actually watched the match, and he was terrible the entire day. And then the one time Chuck wants to say something, he made that shot. To me, that was pretty dope. Other than that, no. Eli, don't listen to this man. Speaking of Brady trying to troll, Brady was trolled, and this one I like. I don't know how it'll work, but I like this troll. This is coming from our own studio, Dave's favorite player of all time, Nick Foles. That's right, Dave, if you're watching, Nick Foles made the post up, my guy. I hope you're over there clapping if you see this. If not, I'm going to make sure we get this to you sometime. But Nick Foles was also watching the match like everybody, well, the majority of like the athletes that were watching it, and he had some words for Peyton Manning. He said, Peyton, 2 words. If Tom and Phil start coming back, Philly special. Go win it. Hashtag the match too. I don't know how he's going to do a Philly special in golf. I get what he was trying to do, just taking an opportunity to take a shot at Tom Brady, and I'm here for it. So in that right, yeah, haha, got him. I don't know how Peyton Manning is going to figure out how to do a Philly special in golf, but it doesn't matter. They didn't need it because Tiger Woods and Peyton Manning's actually pretty solid at golf, and they tore him up the entire day. So fun little get back by Nick Foles there. Now, moving on, we were talking about Ayesha Curry, but now we're talking about Steph Curry, and we're still talking about the match because Steph Curry wants in. He saw this, and he like summed up his whole feelings on the entire day in one tweet, and you can tell he's like a little kid that's just like, why didn't no one invite me? I want to be a part of this. He tweeted, now we cooking. The U.S. Open medal combo got me dying. Then Phil about hits the ball. TB12 waiting for the back 9 like Super Bowl 51. I want in on the match 3. Hashtag the match 2. First of all, that was like 5 different moments that happened in that one game in one tweet. He could have split it up. But like I said, he was just super excited and he wanted to get to the point that he wants to be in the next one. I think it'd be fun because I found myself watching golf. We're talking about golf being boring. And the majority of the show kind of was, but it was the trash talk and the stuff, that the back and forth and Tom Brady being bad. There was some funny moments. Peyton Manning's a funny guy if you guys already knew that. So it was pretty cool. But seeing Steph Curry in the next one would be pretty cool. Let's see how that turns out.
I'm surprised he wasn't in this one.
Well, I mean, for the sake of, because it was up to Peyton Manning, I guess they had called Peyton Manning first, and it was up to Peyton Manning to find somebody to play against, and he was talking about that in it, and Tom Brady picked up the phone. So then, I mean, it makes sense to have Tom Brady and Peyton Manning, I guess. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Steph Curry will be the one that's leading the next one if they do another one for sure.
Yeah.
But staying with basketball, people. Look, I've tried to defend slim, thick James Harden because I feel like it's worked in his favor. But now James Harden ain't so thick anymore. At least when you see this picture that had come up of him doing a boot camp with his boys. Now, I think it's an angle. I think he lost some weight. But I think it's the angle, and when you got sun on, I don't know. I'm not completely buying that he's out here trying to be the left-handed Slim Reaper, but I do think that he did lose some weight. But people are going at him talking about, oh man, he's too skinny. Da da da. My point is, can James Harden let him live? Because before he was too thick. Remember, we had the photo of him when he was out there boxing and his whole gut was all hanging out, and people had things to say about that. Now this comes out and he's looking thin, and he does. He does look kind of thin because at the first glance I thought it was like a balding Patrick Beverly, but then I realized no, that's actually James Harden, and yeah, he looks pretty thin in that picture. But my question is, I'm gonna start off with you, Jackie. Do you think that if the case is what we see in this picture and James Harden is actually indeed that skinny, do you think that that's going to be a problem for his game when the NBA comes back? Or do you think that this is just going to help him out?
No, he looked completely frail. He looked like something was wrong in that picture. From the hair all the way down, it looked like we was having a problem. So I don't know. I'm hoping you're right, though. It was the angle and the fact that he had on some leggings. So maybe that could have been the reason why. So maybe it was the outfit, the angle, the hair, the lighting. There's a lot going on in this picture.
There's a lot going on. Yeah,
none of it's good. He looked like somebody's dad that at the cookout would be flirting with your best friend's girlfriend. Like, come here, girl. It's horrible.
Let's go on this run real quick. Like, he came in for a barbecue, and all of a sudden now you and your uncle there going for a jog, and you looking like that. Anyways, that's 100%. That's hilarious. Britt, I'm gonna come to you. I want to know: do you think that this is what it seems? Do you think this picture is what it seems, or do you think, like me, it's an angle thing?
I'm just surprised that a guy that sharted on himself decided to wear white leggings out in public because
He's never gonna let it go.
Doodoo Gate is back. Doodoo Gate is back.
No, we're back again.
Yeah, and normally dudes when they wear the tights with when they play basketball, they got shorts on over, but he's even
Shorts
so bold
over,
to not
that was
only
so weird.
Yeah, he doesn't have any shorts on. He just letting it all fly out. So that's even more bold. You know what,
I mean, at least at least if you're gonna do that, rock the gray sweatpants. None of this was appropriate. Somebody help him. Somebody help him.
Anyways, well, we'll see what happens because they are in the playoffs, and we'll see hopefully when basketball comes back, we'll see if in fact he is all slim.
No starting though. If he starts again, Britt is gonna lose her mind. I can't.
I cannot. Need to ban those white jerseys. Like, they need to ban the white jerseys. Just red for the rest of their life. Red and black. That's it. That's all the Rockets.
Man.
Going on to the next news, we talked about LeBron James and how he almost played football last week. And now Allen Iverson, for the real ones know, Allen Iverson actually was a damn good football player. And Allen Iverson's coming out saying that, he thinks that he was a better football player than he was a basketball player, as you see from his quote right there. Now, I think hopefully a lot of people did, but he had a very, very, very good documentary a few years back, and he talked about his love for football and how good he was at football and the letters he was getting, how he almost went the football route, but then decided to go basketball. I just want to know, we talked about with LeBron James, and Brett, I want to start with you. We talked about with LeBron James, and when AI played football, he was a quarterback, but AI damn near could have done anything on the field when he was on the field. So I'm curious, do you think, because around the drafting times is kind of similar, do you think that AI could have been Michael Vick before Michael Vick?
I don't know. Because I haven't seen his level of talent personally. I didn't watch his highlight reel or whatever the case is. Yeah. But I do, I talked about it last week. There are a lot of athletes that play dual sports and they're really good at both, and they just decide to go with one over the other. But really, the difference is the level of commitment you put into something. So if you're just naturally a talented guy, if you choose to focus on one particular sport, which is what you're going to be great at, you're going to become exceptional at it because your mentality is making you work hard or whatever the case is. Just like we talked about last week, if LeBron James played football, he'd probably be a really good football player just because the mental part of it, he down, and I think that's the difference between good people and great people. And AI was really good at basketball. If he would have focused that energy into football, I think he probably could have been really good at football as well. He was a beast. He was crying basketball player. So I think he could have took some hits at the quarterback position. So I don't know if he'd be Vic, but he would be pretty darn good football player as well, I believe, just because the mentality part was there.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, mentality is huge. And I think we saw that in the NBA when at the time he was very short amongst all those trees, and you wouldn't know because he was out there still scoring and dunking on some. Look it up. Yeah, I had some crazy posters. But I want to go to my LeBron fan before I move on, Miss Jackie Ray. We asked the question about LeBron. Now I have to ask it about AI. Do you think that it would have been one of those things, if he did choose to go the football route, would have been one of those things where we probably wouldn't have known of AI the way we know of him now because he went the basketball route? Or do you think he probably would have been just the same? He would have been just as whoa, Allen Iverson, just at the NFL level?
I have to agree 100% with Britt. I don't know because I've never seen any footage of him playing football. You know what I mean? And I do know at the quarterback position, yeah, I haven't seen any of that. So at the quarterback position, though, you have 6'4" guys coming at you, and you got to see downfield. I don't know if I'm going to co-sign on the, he would automatically be good. But, at the same time, we have seen shorter quarterbacks that do have success in the league. So I agree. If he puts his mind to it, and that's the thing, it's you can't be, my mom used to say master, jack of all trades, master of none. So you would have to focus solely on one or the other. So you can't, if he just focused on football, I think he definitely showed that tenacity, and that he wanted to succeed. But if he was trying to split, if he was on the fence, there's no way he would have had any kind of success in the league. But whatever he decided he wanted to do, I think we'd still be talking about him either way.
Yeah.
And that practice speech after an NFL game would have been amazing. We talking about practice, not a game.
Yeah. Oh,
that would have been amazing.
Yes, 100%. But yeah, AI was classified as 6 foot. Our boy Drew Brees, he's 6 foot, so maybe he could have probably made it work. Maybe Russell Wilson before Russell Wilson, who knows? But no, I think he made the right decision. I think he was just very confident in himself.
I don't think Allen. Just from the one time that I met Allen Iverson, I know he's classified as 6 foot. But I don't know if he's actually a legal 6 foot because I'm 5'11" and he ain't taller than me. So I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Back then they were still measuring height with the shoes on. Now they're not doing that anymore.
Right.
Right. Moving on to this next one. Speaking of football and high school football, we got some very bored football players doing something that I found hilarious. And it's just so stupid, but it's so funny at the same time. Now, linemen are known to be the bigger dudes of the bunch when it comes to your football team. So what happens when you have a big inflated pad and you got a bunch of offensive and defensive linemen and some receivers that aren't so big and they're boys? Well, this happens. Oh, look at him go. So it happens over and over again. My favorite one, he busts his head out. My favorite was right in the audience, and they caught him. Look, he wouldn't land on his feet. He went that high that he landed on his feet. This is hilarious. This is kind of stupid stuff that guys do. And this
is what I used to do as a kid.
It's the best. Yeah. My cousin has always been like 6'3" his entire life, 6'3", 6'4", and we were all like little kids, and we were on our bed. He broke the bed. Mom, I'm telling you, if you're watching, I don't know if you remember your bed was broken. This was because of Craig. But he would do the same thing with us, and we'd be on the edge of the bed. He'd do that, and we'd go flying. The only problem is we didn't have a crowd of people picking us up. We were just making sure we weren't breaking our faces. But yeah, man, I thought this was hilarious when I saw this, and like you guys said, every kid did this. So funny for them. Yeah. Good stuff. And on to the last one. Oh God, this one hurt me really deep. This is the world's most disrespectful girlfriend. I'm just gonna preface this with that. Okay. Now, yes, I play video games. We know that. If you go to my channel, CK2K, yes, I talk a lot about the Knicks and basketball, but I also play 2K in the name. Play a lot of other video games. There's a rule. Okay. Don't walk in front of the screen when you're playing video games without saying, "Here I come," or "Excuse me." And B, don't be turning off the system when you don't know if I saved or not. And homegirl, she didn't break rule 1, but she did break rule 2, and it was very disrespectful. And I understand this man's emotion in this video. So first, let's watch this video from my poor guy right here. Listen to how he's don't.
Because this is all you do.
It's not. It's all I have.
Oh God. Oh my God. Oh no.
That was a bold move on her part. Very bold move for the girlfriend to do that. I would be scared if I was her.
I got to him for really let me count to 3 because I'm about to knock this out real quick. Let me just he was getting that Arthur fist,
he decided to walk away from the situation.
Pause and walk away from that.
See,
I'm sorry, I feel bad for the girlfriend because he looked at her and said, "It's all I have." What about the girl?
Oh my God! Look, and here's the thing
hurt for her.
We don't know, like I said, she don't know if he saved. So now he's still going to have to go back and replay everything he did. So she's still not going to get the time with him regardless. All you did was just make him mad and still lose the time with him. Makes no sense. You know who agrees with me? Clippers own 6th man of the year, Lou Williams, and he don't even play video games. He saw this video, he was laughing, he retweeted it, and he said, "Get rid of her, King. She don't want to see you happy, LOL." And I don't even play video games with a bunch of laughing emojis. And also, sorry to break it to you, but also all your other little ex-Clippers and some Clipper fans were there, or Clipper players were agreeing. DeAndre Jordan, I don't have the tweets, but DeAndre Jordan co-signed with a bunch of laughing emojis saying facts. We saw Tobias Harris respond. Everybody's on the side of poor. I have nothing else
anymore. So who cares? Who cares? That's why they're not on the team anymore.
But Lou is, and Lou said it. And man, look, and even somebody who didn't play video games, I'm glad that I'm not crazy. Because when I saw this, I was hurt. I felt so bad for that guy because you heard the emotion.
Well,
the way that controller
now
dropped.
the girl should break up with him, really. And now that is all
Right.
you have. I'd be like, oh, that's all you got? Well, it is now. That is all you have now. Sorry, sir. Hope you have a Postmates account because I ain't cooking for you no more. I'm leaving.
That's right.
Jake, you got your boy Chris. I'm with you, Jake. All right. Look, man. I hope you went up. I'm glad you went upstairs and cooled down because I'm glad we didn't have a situation that we didn't want to put on post up. I'm glad you went upstairs and cooled down and just go in there and get it. You can get it again, buddy. Hopefully she's like
Chris.
out doing something else.
It's a game.
I'm done. It's not just a game. It's all he has, Jackie. It's all he has.
It's a game. It's not life. It's a game.
I have a question. What would your reaction be if your girlfriend did this to you? Give us your honest reaction.
My honest reaction would be very similar. The only thing would be that I would take up the whole system, take the whole TV. I would go in the back room and I'll close the door and lock it. Try to turn off the system again. And then try getting time with me then again too, because I'll be in the back, door locked. It's not a joke.
Look at your face. Look at your face. Why?
Chris,
What'd you say, Britt?
has she ever done anything like that? Could you see her doing something like that? You're like, no, she knows better.
She would do the first rule, but she does not care if she walks in front of the screen while I'm playing. Like, it doesn't matter what point of the game I'm on. She'll walk right across the screen. She'll stand right in front of me. She don't care that. But no, she would not turn off the system. You know why? Because she doesn't know what the on button is. That's the only reason why. And that's it from me on purpose.
All right. And Chris, in full force. I love it. And
my
then
God.
I'm ready to have my mind blown by some WTF news. So take us into it.
All right, guys. So you guys, if you've been here for a while, you know that I hate lists, especially ESPN lists, because I think they're made by first-year interns. They annoy me. I think they should be made by seasoned journalists or at least some stats experts. But this is getting serious because now Houston Rockets, Austin Rivers, he thinks if you don't even have professional NBA experience, you shouldn't be talking about a list at all. Leo, can you roll that clip really quick?
If you did not play in the NBA or coach the NBA, I don't care what your opinion is about the all-time greatest. I really don't care. You don't know. I don't give a fuck if you've studied the game of basketball, whatever the case may be. You've never played. You don't know what it's like playing or working on your craft at that level or competing against those guys. This list was clearly made by guys who didn't make their JV basketball team. You have...
Oh, God. Look, I'm not mad at him saying he doesn't want to entertain people's opinion, but look, there's literally journalists in the world who will have a much longer career than he does. There are literally journalists in the world that follow one specific team. I know a lot of us, as journalists, we do football, basketball, whatever. But there's literally journalists that are just going to follow one specific sport. I think they know a little bit about what they're talking about. Devin, what do you think? Does he have a point? Should journalists and anybody else who's never played not say anything?
No, he doesn't have a point. This is like the most ludicrous comment that somebody could make. That's like saying every writer for the Rolling Stone has no place in critiquing music because they aren't professional musicians. That's ridiculous. You can still offer an opinion, comment on, analyze, evaluate what people are doing, even if you've never been professionally involved in the sport or whatever it is that you're talking about. So this is ludicrous. This is insane. I'm with you, Jackie. I feel like people are definitely educated enough to be able to have an informed opinion about these lists, as ridiculous as they are, and they don't need to be a current or former NBA player or NFL player or whatever sport in order to offer that opinion.
Right. Britt, what did you think? I think, we can make lists. He can disagree with them, but does he have to say, look, your point isn't even valid if you've never played?
I think it's crazy because I love Austin Rivers. I've met him a couple times. Sweetest guy, super cool. But would you be in the NBA right now if your daddy wasn't a coach and helped you get on a team? Yes, over time you've been able to prove yourself, but there was a long time where it's like, why is this guy even playing? Because he's not very good. But your dad helped you get on his team, and then after a couple years, you were able to improve yourself, but you didn't get that shot without your daddy being Doc Rivers. So to be fair, people could say that about you too, So, and then I think too, it takes away, okay, so then do women not get to talk about football at all or say anything about football? Like you're taking a whole group of people out, and that's females because we don't play a particular sport. And some of the greatest coaches never played like that. Like Greg Popovich has never played at a professional level, but he's one of the greatest coaches ever. Bill Belichick, same thing. And I've talked to a lot of like basketball and football and baseball players and stuff about even the situation of like they respect coaches less that have never played in, you know, the game at a professional level. And I think that's like crazy because like the two coaches I just mentioned, who are some of the greatest coaches, are great and they've never played level. So like the saying goes, those who can do teach, you know, and I think the same can go for journalists. Like a lot of people have eyes and they can see stuff and games without being able to physically go out there and play. And I know people that play that don't know one stat from the next, don't know anything about sports, you know, like they just naturally were talented and they played and they don't give two craps about it. So I think it's crazy to even say that. And you're literally like taking away a whole group of people on having an opinion just because they didn't do it. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen any NFL.
I missed you.
Yeah, she did. I took me off guard, but yeah, we've seen interviews with athletes and they ask them basic questions about the game and they're like, well, I don't know, that you're the journalist. You tell me what happened. I'm like, nah, you don't know what happened. But anyway, so let's move on to this next one. Now, look, it is no secret, at least to all of us here at the Fumble and anyone who watches the NFL, that unless you have a closet full of khaki pants, red hats, and tiki torches, that Colin Kaepernick was pretty much excommunicated because of his stance on police brutality, especially when it comes to Black people. So in the middle of the situation, I kind of argued whether or not his girlfriend, Nessa, was a little bit too vocal, because even right now, we still don't know exactly what's going in the mind of Colin Kaepernick, except for maybe a sentence here and there, but he's never really dived into that situation for us. Nonetheless, if what we not gonna do was a person, it would be Nessa, because somebody tweeted that the NFL on their website had listed Colin Kaepernick as retired. So she was not having that. She took to Twitter and she said, the NFL commissioner, the NFLPA lying on their NFL website claiming Colin Kaepernick retired. Colin did not retire. You cowards blackballed him because he peacefully protested against police brutality. He's a Super Bowl quarterback and should be playing because his stats show that. And she posted a pic of she tweeted a pic here that shows him as retired. The NFL did not want that smoke at all, because almost immediately they changed it, and then she tweeted the picture again that of right here where he's the unsigned free agent. So I think I'm concerned because I feel like maybe the beginning of May the NFL just swallowed a crazy pill, because they were like, oh, let's try to nudge people in the right direction to kind of get away from their racist ideals, but let's not make them do it. But now let's distance ourselves from this person who did do a peaceful protest. Let's get him completely out of the league and just call him retired, even though he's never even had a conversation about being retired. We just this past season talked about him trying to do a workout that, you know, you could say that did not go well, because he said he is ready. He's been ready this whole time. So clearly he did not want to retire. I think the NFL needs to have a conference call once a week called Ask a Black Person, because clearly you guys are kind of doing this on your own and you're missing the mark. Or better yet, ask Jay-Z. You literally had him sign on to help you in the entertainment fashion of your organization. And fun fact, we can do more than entertain. He is a mogul. He could probably help. I don't know, but ask somebody, because this is getting ridiculous. Chris, I have to ask you though, what's going on in the minds of people in the NFL? Is this just me? Because I kind of have a disdain in my blood for the NFL, especially with how they attack social issues, specifically that affect Black people. Is this me holding on to that? Is this not really that big a deal? Or is this the NFL really just being the typical, let's throw some shade NFL?
Well, unfortunately, I don't have an answer for you, because nobody who makes a decision in the NFL look like me. So I can tell you what in the minds of what they are doing, because I agree with you. This is a bigger deal than I think, because I didn't know anything about this until you said something, because it is a big deal. You can't just write somebody off as being retired when they're clearly not retired. And it was because of the decision of the NFL and the owners in the NFL that are all too scared to take that chance on him. It'd be one thing if a team did take a chance on him and he sucked, but that wasn't the case. So now they're forcing him into retirement. I do believe that is a big deal, regardless of how you feel about Colin Kaepernick or not. She was right. His stats show that he is still a very good quarterback. And when we got guys like Mike Glennon that are being signed over Cam Newton, there's obviously a lot of crazy politics going on. So to answer your question, I don't have an answer because unfortunately there's no one looking like me that's up there making those decisions. So I don't think we have the same thought space as those guys.
Okay. Do you think why would you, just give me one scenario that makes a little bit of sense, why you would just list him as retired and just not leave him as untied? Is it because of the time? Because it has been 3 years?
I don't feel like there's any, there's no possible reason that they should be able to do that. I think it's just ignorance more than anything else. I think they're just trying to write him off. I think it's just that simple. So I couldn't see like a typo, especially since they fixed it so quickly. That shows like, oh, shoot, they're onto us. They saw it. Like they're trying to just.
Here come Nessa.
Yeah. So I feel like it was just straight ignorance.
Okay, I agree. So let's get those vocals ready because right now it is time for Brit's Takes.
Brit's Takes.
What's up, guys? So mine's going to be pretty quick today. I just saw something over the weekend that I thought was like insane. One of the craziest things I saw in a while. I thought it was actually a joke. So Livingston FC, which is a football club in the UK, is letting fans vote on if a player should be cut or not. Maybe they should let us vote on Colin Kaepernick. I don't know. But Leo, pull up this first tweet that I have for you guys because this is the actual thing I saw. It said, quite possibly a football first, but we're giving you a chance to decide on the future of goalkeeper. His name's Gary Malley. With his contract expiring next month, we're leaving it in the hands of the fans as to whether or not we offer Stretch an extension. Stay or go, you decide. Now I did this morning just to see what it is, but there's still about 24 hours or so left in it. But at that point when I pulled this tweet, 169,000 people had already voted so far. 68.9% voted yes, offer a contract. 31.1% said no, get him out of here. I thought this was like a joke, you guys. The next tweet that came up, Tony Miller, because he thought the same thing I did, was this a joke? Said, wow, there's the next tweet, Leo, if you want to throw that up. Wow, I would hate it if my employers did this to me. Surely this is a wind-up. Livingston actually confirmed it is not a joke, saying, no wind-up here, Tony. No one is more important than the fans. And then this next tweet, I'd phone your lawyer, Livy. This is probably illegal in employment law. Livingston FC responded with noted, thanks, Stuart, with a gift that says, I am the law. Which they're like dead serious here. Like, I cannot believe an actual, like, and this is not like, Livingston FC is not some like bootleg, like organization, you know, like they have a really big soccer program, like a lot of big stars of play, you know what I mean? Random like team that like it's like Division III football or something like that. No, this is like this is like literally the Lakers saying, hey guys, you guys can decide if Kyle Kuzma stays on our roster or not. So I think this is one of the most dangerous things I've seen ever. It's to give internet trolls the power to vote on if a player stays on the team or not. Like, do not feed the monster, the beast that is social media trolls. Like, we are literally going through enough in this world, and now you're putting in the hands of trolls to decide if a player gets to feed his family and put food on the table for his family or not. Literally, you're not doing it off the thought of like, okay, well, Gary's stats are going down, or his numbers haven't been that good, or he doesn't practice very well. Like, literally, none of the trolls know what goes on behind the scenes. None of them know how hard he works or whatever the case is. And you're literally doing like a popularity contest on if this guy gets another contract in a month or not. Like, he's been playing on the team for 4 seasons now. He does like more of like a part-time player. He doesn't, he's not on like the full roster, like all the games. Like, he sits out some of the games or whatever. So, and he is their third string goalkeeper. But like, this is this man's job. Like, and literally to be put into a position where, and now he knows, like, he was in some of the comments, like when people say negative stuff, like, oh, let's let this guy go, he sucks. And he was commenting like, oh, thanks, buddy. You know, like, he's in the comments of these things. Like, he's literally looking at social media and his own job, talk shit about, like, literally decide if he gets a job or not. Like, if, like, I know, like, people do hater stuff. My question's going to be to you, Chris. So I know people do like hater stuff and say all this shit. Like, there was a thing I saw the other day and it was like, use this button to vote if Brit should get fired or not. And like, if the Fumble really said, hey, yeah, let's do a poll. Like, if you guys vote yes enough, Brit gets fired. Like, I would be so livid and not even want to work for the company anymore if something like that happened. Like, how are you going to do that? Chris, say your Knicks or the Saints. I'm not going to just say you're a bad organization. I'm going to say you're a good one too. Decided to do something like this where they left it up to you guys to vote on if, say, you kept Taysom Hill or something like that. Would you say with a little bit of respect for your organization, or would you say, oh, yes, this is great, I finally get to say so on what happens with my team, and I finally get to put my stamp on it, which means they really care about me as a fan? What are your thoughts if your organizations, the Knicks could possibly do something like this, but say the Saints did something, lose a little bit of respect for the Saints?
I'm actually gonna go. I will go actually the Knicks route because there would be an overwhelming yes if the Knicks did something like this with a guy like Julius Randle, because he's not very loved by the Knicks fan base. And if they did something like this, Julius Randle would be a free agent right now. So my Knicks fandom would be like, yeah, do that. But as a human being and as somebody with common sense seeing this is ridiculous. And no, I don't care how much I dislike a player that my team signs, I could never co-sign something like this. This is way too disrespectful. Like, hearing you read all this, you can hear me laughing because I could not believe this was real. But they responded to the people.
I thought it was a joke too.
And to imagine the poor guys in the comments reading people like, it's just insane. So no, like, I don't care how much I might not like a signing or whoever, I could never co-sign something like this, because this is it's disrespectful. Because, like, I loved your analogy with using the fumble, because if you couldn't do this in any type of workspace, how could you do something in a space like this? Like, that is insane, and I need to know where this saga continues. I know he looks like he's about to get his contract, but man, this is crazy.
Yeah, this is
they did
crazy.
Something similar to Greg Hardy, though. I don't know if you guys remember, and of course that situation was entirely different, but I forget the Canadian football team he was thinking he was potentially going to play for, and they did a Twitter poll, and they said, you know, in light of his domestic violence allegations, we want to know what the fans think. Do you think that we should sign him? Because the team was cool with it, especially since all the charges have been dropped. And then, you know, Twitter, their fan base on Twitter basically said, no, I don't want this. And they didn't sign him. Now, I get that situation is different. That's different because he wasn't actually playing. I don't know how I could play for an organization that the fan base is legit talking about me like I ain't a damn thing, and I don't know. This is terrible.
And they're giving them the option to decide if he stays. And this guy's been on the team for 4 years. The Greg Hardy thing is a little bit different because it's like, okay, public opinion.
Oh my God, I didn't even know it was that long.
What's the worst?
He's been playing on this team for 4 years already, and like, this is crazy. I hope this is the first and last we will ever see of this, because I think it's sickening to see like a legit organization go to Twitter to see if they're going to fire somebody or re-bring them back. Like, that is absolutely crazy. I went and I voted yes, just because I'd hate to see a man go out like that. So if you guys want to head to their social media, give him like a yes. Let this man at least stay. I don't know even if I did get a yes, if I would want to stay with an organization that left it up to Twitter trolls to decide if I kept my job or my actual skill, but that's a whole nother story. But go, you guys all go there and please vote yes for this man, because
Yeah.
that is just a sad
I can't believe we
way to
have
go
to
out.
do
Like,
this.
oh, I got voted off the island. Like, what? This is not even
Right.
that guy. Like,
So
And how do you,
weird.
if he gets picked up by another team, what are they going to say? In light of the Twitter fans voting him off his last team,
no,
we're going to
pick.
Oh my god!
Right.
I can't make
The
this shit up, guys. This is real life.
The athlete's career should never be in the hands of fans. It's just a bad idea all around.
Ever.
Definitely seems like a bad joke, and it's probably going to backfire terribly on them. Sounds like an HR disaster. Although I don't know
Right.
if the football clubs in the UK even have like an HR like that, but somehow it's going to backfire. I know it will. You guys, that wraps up our show for today. So double check that you've subscribed to our channel and that you've tapped that bell so you always know when we're going live and when we upload new videos. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, leave a comment below, share the video with your friends. Wash your hands because we still have coronavirus going on, you guys. And we will see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Standard time.
Britt's like, not me though. Not me.
I've been watching my hands.
Right.
The rest of you, we all hope that you stay negative if you test for coronavirus and just protect yourself. So wash your hands. That's all I'm asking. And we'll see you tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Bye, guys.